Hey guys, another quick video while I'm at work before I leave. I wanted to go over the keto diet while breastfeeding because I have done one full week. I did an Instagram poll and a lot of you kind of wanted to hear about it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about my first week of keto diet while breastfeeding. Alright, to start off, if you don't know much about the keto diet, basically you are very low carbs, high fat, and it puts you in ketosis, which burns all your fat. That's the idea. Great idea. Sissy's playing. Great idea. I researched it to make sure it was okay while breastfeeding. And everything said yes, the babies are already in ketosis, so it's not going to affect them. Okay? So that's how I started. That's the knowledge I started with. It was okay. Well, day one didn't go too bad. I really missed the sweets and not the carbs quite as much. What? Although carbs turn into sugar, but like I missed the chocolates and the powdered donuts because my father-in-law always has them in the office and they're like the little circle ones, the best ones. So I just want to grab them. Well, I did miss that. I didn't miss the breads like I thought I would. So that's kind of, hey baby, that's kind of, my dog's right here. You'll see her little nose. That's kind of how day one went. It was okay. It kind of sucked. One awful. However, I did go over in my protein, in my carbs, and I went under in my fat, and I was over in my calories. So it really gave me a good eye-opener to how many calories I was taking in, even though I didn't have the donuts and stuff like that, which was like, holy crap, all the calories I actually do take on a normal basis. It was scary. Toot toot, I hear you. You pootin'. I hear ya. You making parties in your pants over there? Are you making parties in your pants? So that was kind of like a good little eye-opener, and then how many carbs were in certain things, and it was kind of crazy. So that's kind of good. That's something I really did enjoy about that, kind of learning. Day two was a little harder. I was really craving the sweets. I really wanted the sweets. The powdered donuts were really hard. And I was feeling a little sluggish by day two. Still not awful, but it was a little harder. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And on day two, I noticed like she wasn't feeding as well. And then I started feeling like, I'm a little dizzy, dehydrated. Well, I knew that would come. I might have to grab her. Hold on, let me see. So day two, I started feeling like a little sluggish by the end of the day, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this if I feel like I'm dehydrated. Well, I knew that was coming, so my mom, I'm doing this with my mom. My mom had purchased, hi. My mom had purchased salt pills with magnesium in them because you lose a lot of magnesium and potassium in them. And salt because you lose a lot of water weight at first, and I did not want to lose water weight, especially since I'm breastfeeding. I don't need to be dehydrated. So I did take one of those in the afternoon, and that seemed to help a whole lot. I was really low on salt. So when I got home, I was kind of like, oh, and then the pill kicked in, and it was okay. Now, one thing about this diet that I 100% recommend is you need a accountability partner. It helped really to like do it with my mom and kind of call her every day because she was struggling the same things I was, tell her how I was doing, send her my pie chart because I used an app and it was called Carb Counting, I believe. Where's my phone? Okay, the app that I use is called Carb Manager, and I really liked that. I tried Total Keto Diet app, and I tried another one. My Fitness Pal I heard can use it. I tried Keto Diet. The one that I like the best is Carb Manager. And I'll go a little bit into more why I like it. But one, it goes over all the pie chart settings. It was easy. Entering things were easy. I found that the keto diet one, or actually it was the total keto diet, was very slow. And the keto diet one, I had trouble finding things. So Carb Manager was the one that I found the most up to date when you're entering your food log stuff. So that one I found the easiest. I'm sure there's a million of them, but that's just what I'm using. And so I would send her my pie chart of that, of like how I was doing with all my levels, what I went over and what I went under. And by day three, so day one and two, I was eating and then entering it. By day 3, I figured out I needed to enter it and then decide if I want to eat it. So that is the change that I made. Start day 1 like that, because day 1 and 2 I was over because I was eating, then entering, and then being like, holy crap, it was that many carbs. So by day 3, I figured it out that I need to enter it and then decide if it is worth eating. So day 3 went a lot better in terms of staying within my limits of, it's about 20 to 25 net carbs. And what net carb is, basically it takes a carb, subtracts the fiber in that food, and then that's your net carb, because fiber's okay to have, so it brings your carbs down because it keeps you fuller longer. So, I think you like listening to me talk. She's over there smiling. So, whew. Yes, so enter then eat, because you will be surprised by what has carbs and high in carbs. It's crazy. But also, day 3, I woke up with the keto flu. And if you've heard of the keto flu, I was dizzy, nauseous, getting hot sweats, and I have hormones out the wazoo because of breastfeeding, so the hot sweats were awful. I also noticed on day 3 that morning I woke up and my milk was not full, which is very unusual. Usually I wake up and it's very full because she hasn't fed all night because she sleeps in the night. So I was like, I hope I'm not losing my milk supply. She also, on day 2, she kind of at nighttime didn't feed very well. Day 3, she did not feed very well at all. And I was like, okay, she must not like the taste of my milk as much because all the sugar's out of it. But then I was like, she's not feeding long, and I don't feel like I have anything in there. If she's not feeding long, I should be engorged. So it seemed to me like my supply, yes, it seemed to me like my supply was dwindling, and I was losing it. And I told my mom, she goes, that shouldn't happen. We read and it said it was okay for breastfeeding. That shouldn't happen just by cutting out carbs and sugars. Like, you're still eating good stuff, because I was eating healthy carbs. Well, the keto flu kind of went away. I upped my sodium that day on day 3, and I felt a lot better. And then I felt really good at the end of day 3 because I stayed within all my levels. So I was so proud of myself. And it is really hard to stay within 20 net grams of carbs. Really hard. So, at least for me it is. I love food. I love food. I'm a food lover. So that was very hard. You telling them all about it? Are you telling them your experience? Yes. Yes. Tell them, baby. Tell them your experience. Tell them about it. Yes. Sorry, guys. So, actually, I'm not going to apologize, because that is amazing, and she is being very well behaved and with the kiddo, and if you're watching my channel, that's what you're going to get, so I'm not going to apologize for it. Take that back. But, okay, day 3, I ended, like, feeling good, happy. Day 4, I woke up, still no milk. Okay, so still no milk. And on day 4, I weighed myself. I started at 150. I'm 5'1", 5'2", so that's really embarrassing to be 150 for me. Like, I have never been that high other than pregnant, so for me, it was really hard to swallow. I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who is that person? I don't feel big. Let me start off by saying that. I don't feel big, and I think I don't feel big because I don't have the tummy anymore. But I look in the mirror, and I look big, and I'm carrying weight in places I don't want to see, and I feel like I look gross to me. And I should love my body because I produce this amazing human, but I want to get back to feeling better for me. Like, I don't care. My husband loves me how I am. He says I'm fine. He actually did not want me to do this diet, but he is supporting me through it. He is supporting me through it. Yes. But I want to do it for me because I don't feel, sorry, my nose itches. I don't feel good in my skin. And that is very important to me. If you feel good in your skin, God, I think people are beautiful who weigh 150. And I would never guess they weigh 150. And I think people are beautiful anyway. And in their skin, it's all about how you carry yourself. But right now I'm carrying myself very low because I feel like I don't look like myself. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to offend anybody. That's what I'm trying to get at. I really don't. confidence is everything. Feeling good about yourself is everything. And I just don't feel good about myself. So I'm changing something. I want to change, so I'm changing. I'm not doing it for anyone but me. So on that note, sorry, a little tangent right there. So on day 4, I didn't have the keto flu per se. I had a little bit, but not too bad because, and I had a tennis match this day on day 4 because it was Thursday. And I had a tennis match that morning, and I was like, I cannot have that keto flu feeling. So I really upped my sodium on day 3, and so I felt better day 4, but my milk still was not in. I woke up still not engorged. She still wasn't feeding well. So I was like, okay. I started Googling, before my tennis match, I started Googling losing milk supply on keto diet. I had not researched that before. I did not come across it in my research because the only thing I researched is it safe for breastfeeding? And it was. And it is. But what goes along with that is you can lose your milk supply. Not everybody. Some girls do the full keto the proper way and still have their milk supply. I was losing it. I was losing it quickly, and I noticed quickly. Again, day 4, I'm like researching it already because if something was wrong, like it wasn't coming in. So, I found in my research that yes, you can lose your milk supply, and that to me was devastating. I was like, I did not go through all of this just to lose my supply, just to spend money on formula, just for her to have to take formula. I did not go through all this. I was like, I am not losing my milk supply. I told my husband, I said, I'd rather be fat and keep my milk supply. And I'm not fat by any means, but that is honestly what I told him. I said, I'd rather be heavy and keep my milk supply because I don't want to lose it. I'd rather do what's best for her, in my opinion. So I was ready to stop this diet. I was like, nope, I'm not losing my milk supply. It's not worth it to me. That's exactly what it is. It was not worth it to me. For me to feel good in a bathing suit, for me to look good, was not worth it for her health, for me. Or for her to have to stop breastfeeding. I didn't want that. So number 1 on my priority list with this was her safety and her health. And at that point in time, her health wasn't really being affected, but her breastfeeding, which in my opinion is healthier, was being affected. So in some ways, yeah, okay. But you get the idea. So I told my mom about it. I said, I have a tennis match. Please research. Let me know what I can do. At my tennis match, I told her, I said, I'm going to take some carbs in because I want to get my milk supply back and I want to get it back going quick because I do not want to lose it. And she was not feeding as well, probably because of the taste. It takes a lot of sugar and carbs to make your milk supply. It's a very sweet milk. That's why they love it. And babies need a lot of sugar or carbs because that's what they burn is the fat and stuff like that. I hope I said that all correctly. But basically, it takes a lot of carbs to produce the milk properly. So if you are breastfeeding and thinking of doing ketos, keep that in mind. How the research, my mom researched, I researched how to fix it. Take in 50 net carbs, 50 grams of net carbs. That is what you need to intake. It was saying 20, 25. You need to take in 50 if you're breastfeeding or more. So basically, you cannot do full keto. You can do low carb. Speaking of my mother. Okay, so 50 grams net carbs is where you're at. Now, in the Carb Manager app, because I was researching what do all my levels need to be? If I up my carbs, do I need to up my fat? Like, I didn't know if I could still do it. But I wanted to try. So, and I want to try low carb because I was very interested in how many carbs everything had in it. So I kind of wanted to continue, and I wanted to do it with my mom and still continue with my mom. I'm probably not going to go into full ketosis. I'm guessing. We'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. Again, week 1 still. But when in Carb Manager, when I increase my net carbs, it automatically increased what amount of fat I needed to take in. So that was really good. So it automatically did that for me. And at 50 grams net carbs with my weight, I need to take in 131 grams of fat, 105 grams of protein, and then that's 50 grams of net carbs. So I still want to stay within 1,800 calories because that's what's ideal. Sometimes I go over, but as long as I stay in those low carbs, we should be good. Again, I'm not having bread and stuff like that. I'm getting my carbs. I'm just having more fruit and stuff like that, getting my carbs in a better way. So I might have a banana when on keto's diet, you're not allowed to have banana. So my tennis match before when I went into it, I had a small Gatorade. I was like, I need to get my sugar up. I don't need to pass up on the court. I had a 3-inch little sub with some bread, and immediately my milk started coming back. So I played my match. I had the bread. I kept it. I only had a little 3-inch thing of a little sub, and I had a Gatorade, so that has sugar in it and probably some carbs in it. And then I had salad. So, and a banana. I had a banana as well. And then I'm playing tennis all this time. I felt fine. I didn't feel dizzy or nauseous or anything. I made sure I took care of myself. I went home. I picked Presley up. I went home. And immediately when I fed her, my milk dropped and became fuller. And she immediately fed better. It was how fast it affected everything was crazy, you guys. Just crazy. I'm sorry, I talk my hands a lot. But it was crazy. Like immediately after having that one bread, my milk came right back. So now we are on day 5. It is Friday. I just wanted to go ahead and get this up. But it's Friday. I'll probably go up Sunday. Hopefully I'll get it up today. We'll see. But it's Friday, day 5, and I'm back to doing the 5 or 50 grams of net carbs. That is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to continue to do until week 2, and we will see how I end up. Day 4, when I had not had a carb yet, I woke up and I was 4 pounds down. Yes, I was. So I was 146, which is awesome. I think that's great, but a lot of that could have been water weight. So you need to drink plenty of water on this diet and have an accountability partner. And if you are breastfeeding, be safe. You can talk to a pediatrician and ask if it's okay for the babe. And again, 50 grams of net carbs if you're breastfeeding is what I would recommend. I'm not a doctor, you guys, but this is just kind of my experience on it so far. And other than that, I'm going to keep going and keep trying. But from now on, it will be with breastfeeding levels, or levels that are okay for breastfeeding, because I do not want to lose my supply. And my supply has been good today so far. I have taken in already... Oh, I didn't have any of that, so I need to delete it. I have taken in already 21 grams of net carbs, which is like total what I was doing before. So I've already taken that in. I'm going to have more, so hopefully my supply keeps going strong, and I will keep y'all informed. But I wanted to let you know what has been going on. And let me tell you, day 3 really sucked. I wanted to give up. The keto flu was no joke. Like, no joke, you guys. You definitely need an accountability partner. You definitely need those salt pills with magnesium and potassium, because you're losing that stuff. And you definitely need to listen to your body. I went over on some things because I was like, I really feel like I need to eat something. Eat it. This is not a thing where you starve yourself. It's teaching you to eat properly. So choose something good. Avocados are really high in fat, which is great, and they're low in carbs. So... because they have a lot of fiber in them. Avocados are the jam. Eggs, you gotta be careful with the eggs. But you guys, I say give it a try. Why not? I'm going to be adding Arbonne's protein shakes now in the morning, which have natural sugars through cranberries and stuff like that, and brown rice, because I do need more carbs. And you know what? I really miss my shakes. So I'm going to add those in the mornings, and hopefully that adds to my net carbs that I need to keep my breast milk up. And it's good carbs, good sugars, easy to digest, so hopefully that fixes everything. And if you want information on that stuff or things I'm using, let me know. I have put in a grocery haul on here of my first week of keto and some things I got, so I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. But until my next video, you guys, bye. Oh, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll answer all that I can. Bye, guys.